And a fine St. Patrick's Day to you. What a good day to do Sunday sacred self care yoga. We're beginning to let our Zoom friends stream in, and welcome if you're joining in on YouTube, the growing number of friends who are enjoying this means of doing some yoga. And Sunday is all about self care, yin yoga, some prayer, some meditation, some restorative yoga. Anyway, we spend the first few minutes on the back or in meditation, whatever brings about calming of the wavelengths of your mind. Welcome in if you've been doing yoga for a long time or been doing yoga with me for a long time, welcome. And if you're brand new, maybe you're just saw this for the first time on YouTube and it's like, hey, I could use some self-care and some peace and quiet. This is a good place to be. This is yoga for everybody. And this is my cat. This is the yoga guy and his cat. This is Looney Bin, and he's my yoga partner. He owns the studio with me. He's a little over a year old. He already weighs 14 pounds. He's quite a monster. And he's just filled with prana in yoga. That's life force. And sometimes he's purry and furry, and sometimes he's frisky and risky, and he's right on the edge right now. Like I am, I'm often on the edge of purry and furry and frisky and risky. Let's enjoy a nice deep breath together. Sometimes you want to snuggle with your loved ones, and sometimes you want to bite them as hard as you can, right? The whole theme of Sunday practice is easy does it, calm, peaceful movements, taking some time out of life from the crush and tumble of daily life. Where are you going? When I got this cat, I thought I was getting a little girl kitten that was a week old, and they lied to me and said it was a girl cat because they knew I wouldn't take a boy. So they were smart. He turned out to be a boy. Anyway, maybe swallow once and circle your jaw around. We have about 3, 4 more minutes on the back, and then we'll go through a delightful sequence of joint release movements. And if you can move your breathing more down toward your belly button, make a meditation out of the rise and the fall of your belly button. And while we're down there, while we're deep in our subterranean guts, let's check in on our feelings. Let our emotions be witnessed, observed, allowed. Let those great energies be released, not to indulge them, but simply to align those energies. We need emotion in our lives. The spiritual life requires great emotional control, energy, persistence, focus. Breathe what you feel what you breathe. Welcome if you're just getting in now. I see some more YouTubers coming in. Why is this guy sitting there in his living room? Because he's facilitating Sunday sacred self-care yoga, the opportunity to bring ourselves into alignment with the greatest good. Excellent. Take the biggest inhale you can, feeling all of your feelings. Big inhale. Exhale, let it all go. Empty out. Pull the plug on yourself. Drain your brain. Empty out. You can't put new wine into old wineskins. Good. And then I recommend wiggling your fingers and toes and conjuring up, actually generating a sense of feel good inside of yourself. Literally conjuring it up out of thin air. Where does anything come from? Everything comes from thin air, so to speak. Good. Then take your arms up to the ceiling, stretch up over your head, whether you're seated or on your back, and just get that nice first thing in the morning stretchy feeling. It's you need a little ecstasy. There it is. Good. And if you're on your back, draw your knees in and roll around on your back a little bit. That's fun. You might go the other way. Good. And let's sit up together, shall we? Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm wearing, that's actually not green, is it? I'm not colorblind, but you know what? I have no green, other than occasionally I'm green with envy. So that's a character defect I'm working on. But anyway, happy St. Patrick's Day. Today we'll be removing the snakes of torment and distress, mentally and emotionally and physically. So we'll do our best to honor the principle. Welcome to my Zoom friends, and welcome to this growing agglomeration of YouTube friends. And if you're watching live, that's great. And if you're watching recorded, it's great to have you on board. We're a group of friends who get together to cultivate a calm and peaceful soul. Sunday is very different than the sort of yoga that you most are familiar with. The cartwheels, the backflips, the bendy people on the front of shiny magazines at Whole Foods that are doing crazy things. They're twisting their body into odd shapes and seeming to express that yoga is the ability to do wacky and wonderful things with your body that are of the ilk of circus performers and ballet dancers and contortionists. And that's certainly a brand of yoga. Yet yoga is as broad and as wide as the universe. This brand of yoga is calm and peaceful. So I'm just kind of sitting here, stream of consciousness, facilitating and expressing the opportunity to just breathe, slow down. We're not trying to get somewhere. We're already there. If you're anything like me, life is always going to happen pretty soon. When everything works out, I get everything all arranged. Everything is perfectly in place. My arrangements are fixed and nothing can ever interfere with that. I'll be perfectly safe and stable and life will be perfect. And yet, in that pursuit, oftentimes the present moment is missed. So here we are together. Close your eyes. And we're going to begin to count our breath. Exhale all the air out. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, release. 1, 2, 3. So far, so good. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, release. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, release. 1, 2, 3, 4. I tricked you. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, release. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, release. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, release. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now pick up that count on your own. 3 in and 4 out. Good. Now discontinue that breath count. Keep your eyes closed and simply assess honestly within yourself, did even a few moments, a couple of minutes breath work change how you feel inside the state of your consciousness? Almost everybody that does it does report a shift in their attitude, their inner sense of experience, oftentimes reporting a greater sense of presence, calm. Okay, now we're going to chant one of our world famous ohms. If you're new to chanting, you just let her rip. Inhale. We'll bring our hands into our heart, drop your chin, close your eyes. A prayer, affirmation, invocation, intention, whatever language you like. God, love, source, infinite higher organizing presence. Bless us with exactly the wisdom, insight, love, light, and truth we need this day to live aligned, present, and joyful. Okay, let's start moving. Shoulders, 1, 2, 3, 4. My cat is stalking me. 5, 6, 7. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Note the movement on my knees, just kind of warming up and bringing some energy, attention, and love to my knees. 7, 8. Arms up, rhythmic, movements, arms out behind your back, the kind of movements just about everybody can do. No particular movement is all that special. It's the synergy of them. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. One more. Good. All right, now just lean back on your hands. Just chilling, just leaning back on my hands. Doesn't seem like a yoga pose. It seems like, hey, that guy's sitting in bad posture. But it's a precursor to something. It's a precursor to just stretching the front of your body by lifting your butt. And if you're really bendy, you lift up really high. And if you're not so bendy, go where you go. Go where you go. Run your own race. Take your time. Come on down. It's not the size of the pose, the volume of it that matters. We might say it's the size of the pose, SIGHS. Get it? All right. Maybe you've never done this before, but here we go. Lace your hands, thumbs up, and I'm going to gently massage the very widest side of my neck with my thumbs. From jawbone to collarbone. And it takes time and intention and willingness to do this kind of patient self-care on oneself. It'd be nice if we could have somebody else do it. It would be nice if I could have somebody hovering over me and dropping grapes into my mouth and fanning me with an ostrich feather, admiring how wonderful I am. But, you know, today it's this. Self-care. Good. Circle your thumbs around, your hard-working thumbs that dolphins are so jealous of. Dolphins are really cool, but they haven't built, oil refineries. Take your thumbs underneath your jawbone. Now watch my face. Splat down into my hands and massage your thumbs underneath your jawbone. There's a little button in there, pops your head off. Let's pop our heads off together. We'll trade heads. Oh, gets tight in there, all gunky. Good. Good, my friends. Okay. Right fingers back left corner of your noggin and tilt your head to the right. Drop your chin, close your eyes. In terms of attendance, normally on Sunday, there's several people that come on Zoom, and maybe St. Patrick's Day is some kind of a thing. People are out St. Patty's Day shopping or St. Patrick's Day parties, but here we are. Drop your chin. Anytime two or more gathered, the spirit opens up. Relax this left shoulder, let it go. Relax your mouth. If you drool accidentally, I consider that a compliment. Now you can imagine a TikTok audience watching this saying, this is the most boring thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I would go crazy doing this because I have TikTok brain. Everything has to change every 15 seconds. I need new stimulation. I can't pay attention except to fractionated experience. My mind is broken. Am I being a little harsh on TikTok brain? Probably. Good. And bring your head back up. I actually saw on the news, did you see that? They're thinking of banning TikTok. left finger's back right corner. That probably would cause a riot of young ones on Capitol Hill. Tilt your head, drop your shoulder, relax your chin down. I have a sneaking suspicion that if I looked at TikTok, I probably would become instantly addicted to it. I have kind of a sticky, kind of addictive nature, and I could probably be consumed in that in no time flat. So maybe not. I got other things that grab my attention, trust me. It's a real discipline to carve some time out of a day and be quiet, listen, feel your body, sense your senses. Good. All right. And we'll click our heads back up. And 6 sumptuous neck rolls. 1, 2, 3. Relax your shoulders. 4. Be unusually happy for no reason if you want. Stop thinking if you can. Just stop thinking. 6. Other way. Some people think, well, if I stop thinking, I'll stop being. You remember what Rene Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. So therefore, if I don't think, I won't be. Nothing could be further from the truth. 5, 6. Good. Relax your head down in bodily contemplation. Does your chin still hit your chest? Little kids, their chin will just fall all the way down. You remember your baby when you had to hold their head up for a while until they gained cranial capacity. But for now, let go of that, and your much larger than average brain will stretch the back of your neck as you relax your head down. And let's breathe together. We're all on the same oxygen mask. Thank God this planet has air. Some planets don't. That would be really a drag. You have to run all over the place looking for air. Okie doke. Now, I'm turning to my side, and whether it's pillows or blocks or your pet or your mate or your ottoman or your couch or a chair, I'm going to switch the cross of my legs, and in a very gentle way, I'm just going to put my head on something like this. Now, maybe you're not that flexible and you would have to build something larger. So I've made this larger. I don't need something this big, but it actually feels kind of good. So find what works for you. If you don't have anything, go on Amazon, take a break from yoga, go on Amazon and order 2 large yoga blocks, and they'll be delivered today between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. And we're going to spend some time. And if you spend time on something, oftentimes, paradoxically, time will go away. The crush, the endless tick, tick, tick of time that normally we're under the lash will begin to dissipate. And you'll have this remarkable experience of timelessness. And when you experience timelessness, your aging process slows down or reverses. And that's why people that do yoga, they look so much younger than other people that are the same age. Isn't that cool? Isn't that a great benefit? You look at other people that are about your age and think, God, they look so much older than I do. Well, that's a good thing. That's very humble of you because you do yoga. Breathe, find that breath. Take that time. Took me this long just to find the right place, but now that I've found it, it feels exquisite. My hips can release, my head can relax forward, my body begins to feel more balanced. The slight pressure on my forehead opens up my third eye. Just kidding. If you're just tuning in and you think the screen is stuck, hey, look, this guy's video stream has frozen. No. Another half a minute. If your brain waves slow down, then a whole nother brand of experience will float up into your mind. Something deeper, more subtle. Okay, then I'm going to press into my hands. I'm going to look out and forward. Exhale, come down for just a sec. I feel stretchier. My bones of my spine are more decompressed. My shoulders can relax a little more. I'm kind of getting happy. And we'll come on up. Excellent. All right, we'll swing back around to the center so we don't miss anything. That's what I always was afraid of when I was a kid. I would miss something. Everybody else would be doing something and I would be missing it. If you find the center of your own being, you'll never miss anything. Nothing will ever be off limits to you. So arms out, palms up to receive alms, and lead forward into your palms. Again, if you're kind of new to this, you may not find this to be the most exciting or exhilarating thing, but if you calm down and the movement of your mind slows down and your breathing begins to become more smooth and rhythmic, it becomes exciting and exhilarating in a way that is almost beyond your wildest imaginings, because a much deeper sort of joy and bliss bubbles up into your experience. And you may have to take that on faith, but building faith and trust is another part of the experience. What's the definition of faith again? Do you guys remember? Faith is the evidence of things not yet seen, the substance of things hoped for. We all need that. We all know we're not seeing the full picture. that there's far more to be revealed, and that if we stay diligent and work with what we have, more will be revealed. Drop your chin, relax your neck. If you know ujjayi breathing, I'll do it with you. I'm going to make a little whispery seashell sound at the back of my throat. Yogis call it ujjayi. It means something in Sanskrit. I've got 6 hours of musical instrument practice today on my 4 different instruments. I'm going to get my paws all warmed up. I'm heading toward virtuosity, somewhere between a month and 500 lifetimes. I'm virtuosic in other realms. Click below to find out. Good, and we'll come up out of that, my friends, and my hands are bent. What did Bart Simpson used to say? Get bent. Inhale up. With your bent paws, arms out, behind your back, up your back, Buster. And then cram your hands inside your armpits, drop your chin, and try to touch your elbows together. I have friends that can do that, and I have friends that can't. There's one thing I don't want is all my friends to be exactly the same. I like a little variety in my friends. I got the weird ones, I got the stable ones, I got the funny ones, I've got the serious ones, I've got the frivolous ones, I have the crazy ones, I have the sane ones, I have the addict ones, I have the recovered ones. I like lots of friends. What do we all have in common? That we accept each other just as we are. What do we have in common? A lust and thirst for life. Did I say lust? Yeah, lust for life. That's cool. Zeal, zest. Okay, my paws are a barkin', roly-poly guacamoles. I think I'll fast today, so I'm going to stop using food references. Avocados. Oh man, other way. Sometimes I just want to take avocados and just you just want to smear them all over your whole body. They keep your coat shiny. When I moved in with friends when I was 19 to go to school, we had a house together in Southern California. There's a big avocado tree in the backyard, and it would just drop hundreds of perfect avocados, and I didn't like avocados. God, oh man. Hello, avocado love. Give me your avocado love. Cup your hands at your heart and feel avocado love percolate through your cells, atoms, and molecules. The universe sends us so many different representations, so many different combinations of love. But then we remember the source, the place where avocados come from, Avogadro. Good, inhale for an Om. Long, loud, and proud. Prayer hands, just quiet. Be still and know that you're God. Stop thinking. That's the one instruction that I've given that I've never heard another teacher ever say. Stop thinking, because you can. It takes some discipline, it takes some continence of mental capacity, but without that, what good is anything? Sometimes we just think too damn much. Like any great resource, it can be overdone. Okay, let's something do completely syntax different. Rub your palms together. Faster, faster, alabaster. Friction, warm, and then cup your eyes with your palms and look into the purple velvety infinite. Have you looked into the purple velvety infinite lately? We should. You can push a little bit on your eyes, just as long as it's a little bit. There's something going on, isn't there? Okay, now we're going to switch gears. We have a couple of interesting sequences to go through that I think you're really going to like. Again, if you don't have these things, would you just get a set, please, right now? Just leave this class, go on Amazon, and get, they're called big ass yoga blocks. They're about this big, and probably get them for $18 total, and they can be here later today. You'll enjoy my class a lot more. Now, this is my psychological block, because boy, have I had those. And this is my emotional block. Oh boy. Greg, really, you've been emotionally blocked and repressed? Yeah. Anyway, I got a big one and I got a sideways one. See that? Why did we do that? Well, first for the fun of just playing blocks together. And then I don't care what's going on down here as long as it's comfy. This goes right underneath my bra strap. I'm wearing a lacy little number today, and whoops, that's not in the right place. Here we go. And as the great yoga master said to his students, not me, but a great one, he said, "This is it." Now, you don't want to impale yourself. So I've got my head supported and I've got something underneath my heart. And then I'm just gonna let this delve into my body. I'm gonna let this penetrate me and move through various layers of my being. And as surface levels of tension relax, more and more layers begin to fall off. I begin to go deeper into ancient patterns of thought, feeling, perception, and blah, 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 blah. And this builds patience. And oftentimes the initial feeling in this pose, because there's something underneath your heart and lungs, is to breathe from the chest. Now deliberately, consciously, willfully, prudently, patiently, practically, move your breathing down to your belly button. Sometimes after my legs are crossed for a while, I'll just extend my legs out in pool lounge chair pose. Now I'm in my Bel Air home down in LA. I do have multiple homes around the world. And I'm out on my infinity swimming pool, looking out over the skyscrapers of LA, thinking, I pretty much have it knocked. I'm famous, I'm rich, I'm popular, I'm beautiful, I'm humble, just floating around on my pool. Now, sometimes when I want more sensation, and sometimes I do want more sensation, I'll just take my arms up over my head and I might notice for myself, is that too much or do I kind of like it? People that feel comfortable and are open in their body, when they're on their back, they can take their arms back up over their head, and it's a sign of open, relax. And some people can't really do it, they've sort of lost it, but you might try it for a moment. If you can do it, great. I noticed back during World War II when I was in the military, and me and all my friends, we all had pictures of pinups back when that was cool. All the pinup they'd have their arms back up over their head. Now that may not be PC nowadays, but that's not who I am anymore. So what I'm getting at is the ability to relax your arms back up over your head. One more minute. If you don't like it, adjust and make it more tolerable. Now the block underneath my heart is opening up my thoracic chest spine, the tight part of my spine that's protected by more rib connection, more cartilage. And of course, this opens my heart. It's sort of similar to what a rib spreader does, but without the crackling aspect. My cat actually sleeps like this. It's the craziest thing. He can lay his back over the side of a couch, fall asleep with his arms back up over his head. And not only is he not unhappy, he's ecstatic. I said that wrong. Not only is he not unhappy, he's ecstatic. You know, biggest inhale of your whole life so far. Biggest exhale. Now a bunch of armor plate has come off my heart and I am ready to fall in love. It's just like drinking a big bottle of love potion number 9. But now I'm going to use my hands to lift up my head. And I'm going to use my arms down by the side of my body. And I'm going to come up hella slow. Oh, Lord's a leaping. That was good for me. OMG. A lot of emojis on that one. A lot of emojis. Now, we're going to do something more relaxing than that. Would you vote for that? I would. In this election year, I would vote for more relaxing. But with all this emoji energy and the fact that I just drank a big bottle of love potion number 9, I'd like to chant Om with all of you. And I'm going to extend it out as long as I can. Inhale. Is your Om bigger than mine? It's not a size comparison. We are calm and peaceful souls. We can find the bliss of being in the rush and tumble of life, which makes us able to enjoy the rush and tumble of life all the more. As a great spiritual master said, we can be in the world, but not of the world. Spiritual masters say weird, paradoxical things, but when we get together and discuss in our little spiritual circles like this, it makes way more sense. Okay, now watch careful, kids. These precious blocks, we're not going to overdo this one, but we're not going to underdo it either, because these are really big blocks. I'm just going to lay on my back. Then I have 2 options: small size block, or I might tilt it up one size. Now I could put another block underneath here and just make my ribs stick out and my liver extend, but I don't want to do that. This is called Setu Bandhu Sarvangasana, and it means supported bridge pose. And this is much different than what we just did, right? Our neck, back, and shoulders are flat and relaxing. My heart is calming and peacifying. And now the lift is in my lumbar spine. So now I'm stretching my guts up. And the block is not underneath my kidneys, it's underneath my sacrum. Do you know what your sacrum is? It's the triangle shaped bone at the base of your spine. Very stable, very strong. And I can let my hips relax on that. And now we're going to do a sequence, but first about a minute of just this. In other words, we're not in a big hurry to get to the next thing. It's nice to enjoy. It's nice to enjoy a little yoga foreplay, time in a pose, not in a big hurry to get to the coup de grace, the pièce de résistance, the other French that I don't know what I'm saying. I hope I'm not offending my friends watching in France too much. Nice stretch of the back of my neck. Breathe from your belly button. I like this clap. I like St. Patrick's Day. I used to like it because I used to take full advantage of partying to the extreme. March 18th was typically hangover day until every day became hangover day. And then God removed that snake from me. Okay, now kids, we're going to bring our knees in, and if you can do it, just going to take my legs up. If you can't do it, you can stay where we were, or maybe you can try it for a few moments. If you can't do it, then just keep coming to my Zoom or my YouTube classes, and before you know it, you'll gain a little more capacity. Because if you take the capacity that you have and you exercise it, you will get more capacity. If the capacity that we currently have goes unused, then we will lose that capacity. That's also known as the Matthew principle. To those that have, more will be given, and to those that hath not, even what they hath shall be taken from them. So let's put that principle to its best use. Take what you have, use it, and you'll get more. We all know that if we don't use it, we'll lose it. So welcome to Matthew Principle Bridge Pose. So many benefits from inverting, from going upside down, for circulation. And now, if you can tolerate it, just let's do wishbone pose. I'm gonna spread my legs and let my hips and groins and adductors and my blah, blah, blah get stretched. This is good for the southern hemisphere of my body. A lot of people live most of their life in their northern hemisphere, the latitude of their brain and thinking. And from the waistband down, from the equator south, that part of our body disappears. It goes away. It becomes atrophied. So this is for south of the border, so to speak, so that you can. Well, we all know people that live in the southern hemisphere are happier than people generally that live in the northern hemisphere. That's true scientifically. A lot of studies. People in the northern latitudes generally don't wear fruit in their hats. Good. Now, as your legs come back together, if they can, cross your left thigh over your right thigh. Slink your left ankle underneath your right ankle if God made you to do that. And then let your right foot come down to the floor. You might say something technical like, or ah, or ooh. My thinking is slowing down. I'm mostly just stream of consciousness, live stream of consciousness. Sat, Chit, Ananda, bliss, love, joy is beginning to percolate in my nervous system. I like that. I'm getting high on my own supply. Good, and we'll bring our knees back up and we'll take our legs up until noon, which is in just a few more seconds. There used to be a TV show long before you guys were born called 12 O'Clock High. Now spread your legs out wide, really good. Ooh, really good for everything down in Brazil and Ecuador. Peru, Bolivia is cheering. Tierra del Fuego, the land of fire, is cheering. Good. Now squeeze your legs back together. Wrap your right thigh over your left thigh. And for you bendy bears, you slink your right ankle underneath your left ankle. I can't, but you can. And then let your left foot drift down to the floor. This is really good for this hip flexor complex that's usually tight as a boiled owl. That's why everybody that lives in the northern climes, they have frowny face. So connect upper and lower hemispheres. Good, biggest inhale of your whole life. Exhale, let it go. Good, bring them knees in, uncross them, and we'll set our feet down on the floor. Back to square one. Good, now I'm going to press into my feet and I'm going to lift my butt up. So I'm getting out the young Ronco butt crane. Up goes my butt. Higher, higher, higher. Hips for higher. Moving the block out of the way. We're coming down to a 7 count. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm bringing my feet together in foot prayer. I'm letting my knees butterfly out to the side. I'm going to take my arms just up over my head. And now I'm pizza dough. I'm a big blob of pizza dough. And I'm going to come over to your house with a big pizza dough roller. And I am going to roll you out, so to speak. This is how we roll. And pizza dough finds its own level. I don't know if you knew that. Or as Homer Simpson would say, dough, dough. Good, now believe it or not, we're just going to slide our leggies out and arms down by the side of our body, palms up. And we're going to go into St. Patrick's Day Shavasana. Now there's something called Irish yoga, and I can make fun of that because my last name is Riley. But Irish yoga, it looks like somebody is passed out on the floor, but we are passed out in cosmic intoxication. We don't need no stinking green beer. We're just going to relax on our back for 5 minutes, and we're going to relax so much we might even leave our body. This pose starts now. My body starts to unwrinkle on the floor. I might lift up my left and right butt cheek, get any dents out of my bottom. There's one thing I don't like is my butt being all dented. Wiggle my legs, scooching my shoulder blades, relax my chin. Here we go. Lift up the oars, float downstream. It's easier to go in the direction of the river. My breathing really slows down. Sometimes it even stops, but I'm going to leave that up to you. Don't ever try to do that. All right, and now relax even more. Here's our great Sunday ritual that we do at the end of Shavasana, and this is from the Church of Greg, so to speak. But if you'd like to invite God, love, source, infinite higher organizing, whatever you like to call, God doesn't care what we call him or her. God simply cares that we call upon him. And if you prayed that little prayer with me, wiggle your fingers and toes and circulate super ecstatic feel good through yourself. Call forth much light, love, and truth. In religious language, we might call it the Holy Ghost or the Holy Spirit. Doesn't matter what you call it, just call upon it, soak it up. Nice deep breath back in your skin suit. And now we'll bring our knees in. We'll curl on to our right side. I like to make a little pillow of my hands for my head and curl up around myself. This is when I love all over myself because I didn't know how to do it before. Lack of love earlier in life can teach us how to find it inside of ourselves. Okay, now we'll keep our eyes closed to sit up to keep the creamy filling on the inside. It's a good practice to be able to sit and find your axis mundi, your center, with your eyes closed. We'll bring our hands into our heart. We'll drop our chin. Now, the ancient Sufi poet Rumi, he had an interesting way of saying this. He said, out beyond the fields of right thinking and wrong thinking, there's a larger field. I'll meet you there. We'll play in those Elysian fields in ecstasy. Altogether, the mighty Sunday yogis, we all say, Namaste. Well, I don't remember St. Patrick's Day falling on Sunday before. It must have at some point, but I don't remember it. But I do remember this one. It was epic. Thanks, YouTubers. Please like and subscribe. Would ya? Just like and subscribe now, and then this horrible feeling of guilt that I haven't done it yet will be assuaged.